Yo, what's up, Coomers? Hunters. Secret Unlockable Character Project here, back with another one. I wanted to discuss the new 3.0 update before it's finally revealed this Wednesday at 10 AM Eastern Time, which I will restream on YouTube as well so we can all react together. Being an all-seeing space dragon, knowing the future is a simple task. It's called Google, but I'll just say as far as my predictions on what will be added, it's all speculation. Pure speculation, so not really spoilers, but spoilers if they come true. So I'm warning you guys now if you care about spoilers or not. Not like it matters much in this series where we've all clamored to know what's next, or have always known what's coming, considering the Japanese versions of the games always came a year before the global version. So it's nothing new to longtime Monster Hunter fans on being spoiled, and it never even got drama till Rise. So these are speculations with a wink, but still speculation, Capcom, okay? Okay, as far as the comment section, I won't moderate it. So if you truly do not want spoilers, then stay away from the comment section, stay away from forums and other social media, and exit this video till the 26th. In the gaming world, this is called going dark. Not that hard to do. You cannot expect the hundreds of creators or forum posters to not put spoilery thumbnails or spoil their post. That is on you. This series is no longer niche. The bigger something is, the harder it is to control it. So, considering 3.0 is hyped to finish the story, finally, and considering Narwa's state after you defeat her, we're either getting a Phase 2 Narwa, that angry mom Narwa, that Karen Narwa, or we fighting that baby, as far as the last boss to the story for Rise. The ending cliffhanger after beating Narwa showed the twins talking about their offspring, saying it'll roam the earth and storm and thunder will rain down upon it. This sounds like Amatsu, and well, Ibushi and Narwa do share a similar species design to Amatsu, although they visually look nothing alike as far as a child goes. But still, Amatsu is the Lord of Storm, so it makes some sort of sense here. But since it's story-related content for Rise, I doubt Amatsu will be the fight, as they'll want to use a new monster, like traditionally, to be the last boss. But another cool thing to consider is Ibushi says it's time to converge. So will that mean fighting both Ibushi and Narwa at the same time? Or will they fuse together in some weird way? Or will we fight the offspring? Gonna be interesting to find out, but this fight will conclude Rise's story, and perhaps even tease G-Rank at the end. Going off to some new territory, as it's fairly clear that Kimura is now safe after the 3.0 boss is defeated, and Kimura in general seems to be closed off, as one way goes into the wild, and the other is blocked by the shore, where Rondine's at, where she's clearly not from Kimura locally. I won't get too deep into the lore, but yeah, for G-Rank we'll likely be at a new place altogether, abandoning Kimura as our job will be done here. Second monster I predict is Jetman. Why? Because it was alluded to in the Sanded Plains message text saying the crimson glow falls upon us. There is only one monster that flies, has a crimson light glow effect, and literally has a move that dive bombs and leaves a crater, likely what the message was referring to, thinking the object was like a meteor rather than a monster. Now, some people speculate that this is a variant of Jetman, a red Jetman, potentially changing Jetman's design, as the original Jetman, Mark I, was very controversial when it was first shown, although the fight ended up being amazing and people loving it. Jetman! And the last monster I think will be added is an Apex monster, because dang it, Rampage has to stay relevant, you know? Considering the trend of Apexes just being ripoffs of Deviants, we can limit the pool down to these four. Since the Golby is easy and probably not what the game needs at the moment, we can cross it out, leaving just these three. Considering the domination of raw weapons, I would rather see Zinogre added in hopes of boosting his lightning weapons more than Silver and Grim. So hope Zinogre will be added out of these three. Now, whether it automatically will be added to hunts, like Diablos and Rathalos surely will in 3.0, I don't know. On one hand, it'll help the game out more if it is, as we'd have a total of 5 hard monsters to face for normal hunts instead of 4. But I can also see Capcom holding Zen hostage to Rampage, and then later on add it in casually for like a normal event hunt a month down the line. And that's it. I don't expect more than 3 to 4 new monsters added this update, but even still, with that pool of monsters, final boss, Jet Jaguar, 2 to 3 Apex normal hunts, and hopefully a non-Rampage Ibushi hunt, I do think Rise's endgame will be more complete, finally, after 2 months, as, let's face it, the base game of Rise was honestly a joke. It literally only had Narwa as the traditional endgame elder fight being the only challenge, which then you could argue wasn't even that challenging given her slow speed. Even then, she became the sole farm monster due to the trash melding system. Everything else was non-elders, they could be trapped, could be easily mounted, you have wirebug moves with hyper armor and iframes, you don't lose food effects on feints, monsters trigger free rides and hardly pose any threat if 2 are in the same area, and with how easily we got min-max sets due to skills and charms, they melted fast as well. No tempered versions, and at the time, there was no Apex or Deviant equivalent. And no, I'm not counting Rampage because Rampage is piss easy considering you have unlimited deaths. And lastly, there was no hyper-like state for monsters. These are all things that base world and base generations had, and in the case of Portable 3rd, which also had no G rank, only released in Japan, that thing had a Cantor, Eucanlos, a Latrion, a Matsu, and a plethora of harder variants to fill out its content worth in its base game. So I can understand the complaints of the game upon release. Of course, difficulty is subjective, and casualizing the series has certainly paid dividends for Capcom, with World above 16 mil and Rise above 7 mil already for sales. So it's clear that not having those harder elements, those constraints of the past, leads to more players playing since they can pass the content and enjoy the core of what Monster Hunter has to offer. Even for 2.0 for this game, I hardly see complaint posts about passing the content. So I think by now the casual crowd, the majority of players, can say they got their money's worth, right? So with that in mind, people having their money's worth already, why not throw a couple bones to the people that got you to this dance in the first place that want a more challenging experience from Rise? The casuals got their experience, so let's get some harder quests now. But like I said before, I do think we got that if you combine 2.0 and 3.0 as far as monsters alone. Now, could Rise use an investigation-like system on top? Sure. Playing the same static quests over and over with no locale variants or threats of different monsters showing up or varied rewards does get boring after a while, no matter how challenging the content is. So does Ride need temper monsters though? Not really, no. In fact, it already has a better version of temper monsters, Apex monsters. So we just need more of them, hopefully ones that are immune to KO so sticky spam gunners can stop ruling the game, but even new Apex versions of the new monsters like Mag, Gauze, Amoldron, etc. would be awesome, as what we got and what we are still getting are old mons we have already faced, farmed for hundreds of hours and made gear sets of already in GU. Certainly Capcom is reusing the deviants to fill content more easily, but Rise's new roster of monsters really are not relevant in endgame at all, even now, which you could say is a legit problem. Comparing back to World, which got heavily criticized, it had Nurg, Valhazak, and Bazelgeuse with temper forms on top for its new monsters. Rise doesn't have that. Apex Mizu, if you play Generations Ultimate, is not a fresh experience, but an Apex Magna Malo would be a fresh experience. So I don't think we'll see a new halfway difficulty like some people are wishing for 3.0. Apexes are that halfway point, we just need more volume of them. A new Apex form every month or two could be really cool, as by the time G rank rolls around, we'll get G rank on top of more than a dozen Apex forms, which will be that challenge we all crave. However, no matter the Apex, Capcom has to make them relevant for gear. At the moment, they're only fuel for Rampage weapons, but none of their Apex parts are used for their normal form weapons, and they are still setless with no unique gear. And because their normal mats don't get upgraded, they are also bad for meld farming as well. So if Capcom gave them sets for 3.0, that would vastly improve the game, as it'll give us more gear to play around with hopefully cool effects. Like imagine, Apex Raytheon set could drop a poison pool similar to Hellfire Cloak that can poison the monster if they stepped in it, on top of poison damage boosting effects. They already have all the armor designs already for Deviants, so why not just bring those over to Rise to make the Apex monsters relevant outside of just Lazarite and Armor Sphere farming, which most have already farmed a plethora of already. As far as my other wants, I like to see new decos, particularly Mighty Bow Plus as a level 3 slot, Right now, bow is the only weapon that needs a gear piece to be optimal, whereas others can get by with charms or decorations. Rainbow pigment armor would be sweet as well, so we can all glow in different colors, and a future roadmap of upcoming events would be nice as well. The game will be 2 months old and we've yet to get a single Nintendo collab, which is a little bit weird. So a collab announcement would be dope too. Zelda, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, there's so much potential for collabs, and we have got nothing, so give it to us, daddy. And finally, I am interested if they will do any weapon rebalancing. It's fairly clear by now that some weapons are overperforming and some weapons are underperforming. Yeah, PvE game, but balance is still important. I won't say anything about nerfs because I dislike them given my past, but I do think Charge Blade, Gun Lance, and maybe Insect Glaive do need some buffs. Charge Blade and Gun Lance especially though. Mechanically, at least in CB's case, it's just not clicking right in Rise in my opinion. It's too spread apart with its role from its switch skills, and there's the gigantic issue of file hitbox problems, which is the entire point of using the weapon. So they need to fix that. On the flip side, Hammer is too one-dimensional, so I think Courage needs to be buffed to offer an alternative to impact spam, and maybe boost KO values a bit as well. And yeah, I'm sure everyone has their opinion on this, so let me know down in the comments. Weapon changes, yay or nay? But if yay, which ones and how would you change them? But yeah, I can go on and on, but I think that covers my predictions and endgame state talk. I don't expect layered weapons, I don't expect more than 4 monsters added, I do expect a new area to fight the final boss in, new music as well for at least 2 monsters, but other than that, I'm excited to see what else they have in store for us, if anything. If we just got the new monsters, I'd still be happy, but you know, sky's the limit, and a dev that can push the game, a franchise, higher and higher is always welcome. Please add more Apexes. Again, the update is on Wednesday at 10 AM Eastern Time. I'll leave a link to their YouTube stream which has a countdown, although I think they'll stream on Twitch as well, so there's that. Once 3.0 comes out, I'll stream it on YouTube as soon as possible, and then after that day or two, I'll do streams on Twitch between the weekdays, and we'll still do Sunday streams on YouTube too. And of course, you can expect 3.0 build videos as soon as I can after release for the 5 to 6 weapons I usually play. And with the update, we're likely going to get a lot of stuff to shift meta weapons too, hopefully more towards Element, as no matter what, Narwa and the Elders will likely get a Rarity 7 upgrade. But then again, the new Jetman will get gear as well, so who knows if that will dominate all. But yeah, that is the video. Hope you guys are excited for 3.0 as much as I am. And if you are, hit the like button and comment down below your wishes for 3.0, or hell, even beyond 3.0, as 3.0 hopefully isn't the end-all be-all till G-Rank, which we won't see for another year or so. So let me know those last-minute predicts, and subscribe for more Rise epicness.